What's going on, family? Jon Setzer here with Jon Setzer Motivation. Thank you so much for following along. Thank you for commenting, sharing this with somebody else, and liking. Thank you. I do appreciate it. But today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about social media. And so social media has really been one of those taboo topics, I guess you can say. There's been a lot of gray area, even in my own house when it comes to social media. And my wife and I, we just had to get to the point to where we established our own boundaries for social media and the way that we play that game in our own home. And so I was talking with my daughter Leslie about social media, and we're kind of sitting down together and we're going through her social media, and I'm like, what kind of stuff are your friends posting on here? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, come on now. And she's like, oh, well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And we're going through this. And I'm like, Leslie, so you're telling me that you want to be a doctor, you want to play professional basketball, you want to do fashion design, like all that kind of stuff. So like, you have a lot of things that you want to do. And I feel like that you have the capacity to do any of them that you want to do. But there's no way that you're possibly going to be able to do that if you're spending anywhere from 3 to 8 hours a day on social media. And so for some of you parents, you probably haven't thought about this. Maybe you haven't done a social media audit on your kids yet, but just check and see how much time they actually spend on social media. And then there's some of these apps and social media platforms that are just absolutely terrible. And I'm gonna let you do your own research on that, because I'm not gonna throw any negative vibes to anybody. But for me and my family, we are very, very picky on the way that we use social media, how much we use it, and when we use it, all that kind of stuff. So, for my kids, there's times when I say, all right, guys, bring the cell phones, bring the iPads, the tablets, all of that, and we will go through and look at, what they're looking at. I want to see, what are they searching? I want to see, what things have tried to be, have they tried to delete? I'm looking at all that kind of stuff, and I'm not doing it because I want to be a helicopter parent or I want to, deteriorate the trust that I have with my kids. But I feel like it makes that relationship stronger when they can be open and honest and say, hey, Dad, well, like Princeton, my 8-year-old, he was looking at, he was searching on YouTube of girls kissing. And it was so funny, and we knew it was him because it was kind of spelled funky, if you know what I mean. And I just said, hey, Princeton, so why are you looking up girls kissing on kids' YouTube? And of course, it's kids' YouTube, but guess what? There was still stuff that popped up, which is crazy that this is like, okay, this is kids' YouTube. And, he's like, well, I see you and Mom kissing, and I was curious. I said, well, you can come and just ask me and Mom why we kiss and, why we show affection to each other and, that kind of stuff. And so we had a great conversation. We talked about how, when a man loves a woman, they get married, they have kids, they show affection to each other when they hug, when they kiss. I'm like, son, the same way that I hug you and I kiss on you is for me to show you that I love you. And I show Mom that way, that I love her. And my love language is physical touch. One of my love languages is, I'm words of affirmation and physical touch. And so that is the way that Mom shows love to me. And then I show love to her, through quality time and acts of service. So they don't have to go to social media or to Google to have questions answered about some of these topics. As parents, we need to be in the space to where we can answer some of these questions, and hopefully all of these questions for our kids. We need to be able to point them to certain things in the Bible, different places in the Bible, and let them kind of start answering these questions for themselves. Every morning on the way to school, we read a chapter of the Bible. And so, we usually do Proverbs. And so this week we're in Proverbs. But, sometimes we just pick a chapter from anywhere in the Bible. And Leslie will read it. She's sitting up front. She'll read it. And then we'll talk about it. Me, her, John, Princeton, and Katura on the way to school. And it's been really, really good to see their thought on the Word of God and how it can apply in their everyday situations. Like staying away from people that just want to do evil or that want to do somebody else harm. Like distancing yourself away from them. Not going down those roads that would lead to, promiscuity or, opening up those doors and those gateways of, where the mind starts to wonder about sex and, and these type of relationships and that kind of stuff. And so, when we dive into the Bible, we're able to talk about a lot of those things. But parents, I feel like this. And students, this is for you too. If you feel like that, how do I explain this? Okay, I got it. If you feel like that what you're doing on social media is not glorifying God, then I would highly suggest that you get an accountability partner. There's different apps, like Kingdomize, different stuff like that that will help you be more accountable in that social media space. Because parents and kids, when you go to your bedroom and you got that phone in your hand, you can search and you can look up anything that you want to. And so parents, imagine giving your kid one of the most powerful weapons in the world and then sending them down to their room and letting them do whatever they want to do with it. Like if your kid had a nuclear bomb, like had the button to a nuclear bomb in their room, how comfortable would you feel with them having that in your house, in their room, unsupervised? I guarantee you would not feel comfortable about it. But those cell phones, those tablets, is a nuclear bomb. That is power beyond what kids and even adults with zero accountability in their lives can handle. So you need to be taking, a social media audit in your house. Like for me, we don't do tablets and cell phones in bedrooms. When I was in the 4th grade, I developed a pornography addiction because I was exposed to something that I probably shouldn't have been exposed to when I was a kid. And it, changed my life. I was sexually active as a 6th grader. I lost my virginity when I was in the 6th grade, which is crazy, which is unthinkable. Like I couldn't even imagine my own kids losing their virginity in the 6th grade. At that time, I don't even know, well, maybe you've had sex education at that time, but it's just crazy. I didn't really know what I was doing. But because of the door that was open to me, then I'm exposed to these things, and now I can't unsee what I've already seen. And that pornography addiction went all the way up until I was a freshman in college. And then because of my relationship with the Lord, I was able to break free from that. But I'm telling you, you don't want to be lazy and sacrifice your kids on the altars of social media. Because if you're lazy and you don't have accountability in your home, like that is what's going to happen. Kids, guess what? Your parents don't have to be the one to put these boundaries on you. You can put these boundaries on yourself. Gen Z is a very talented, smart, generation. And so you guys can put these boundaries on yourself. You can call a friend and say, hey man, like I'm really struggling on social media right now. I'm gonna give you my password to my phone. Like you can check my phone anytime you want to. And it's that type of accountability that's gonna help us get out of some of the problems that we have right now. In America, sex sells. So everything is about sex. Look at any rap video, country video, All these different music videos, go to a concert. I mean, everywhere you go, everything's going to be geared towards sex. People want to make more money so they can get more sex. People want to get these lip jobs and butt jobs and boob jobs and, and all this so that they can be more sexy or more appealing to the opposite sex. And so it's like our world is constantly pumping this narrative into all of the media that we watch daily. And so I really don't even watch a ton of TV, to be honest. I'm always on like social media on social media, I'm like on motivational stuff. I listen a lot to like Darius Daniels, Tim Ross, Keon Henderson, TD Jakes, Stephen Furtick. I follow like a lot of those different channels, Myron Golden, like, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Inky Johnson. Like, I can say and name people all day long that I follow, but I do that because I have to make sure that my mind is tuned into the things that I want to see happen in my life and tuned into the avenues of success that I want to take. But if you send your kid or even yourself, get on social media for more than an hour a day, and you'll start to see yourself fading in one direction or the other. So if we're giving our kids 8 hours a day to be unsupervised on social media, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Be Real, Send It, some of these different apps or social media platforms. Like, if you're giving them 8 hours a day, what do you think they're looking at? You think they're in their room reading their Bible on their phone? Probably not. So let's not be naive, and let's be accountable parents, students. Let's be accountable students, and let's get one step closer in our relationship with following Jesus Christ. Hey, I love y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if there's anything I can do for you, hit me up in the comments. I would love to chop it up with you. If you got questions about anything that I said today, or if you're looking for suggestions, hit me up. I'd love to help. This is Jon Setzer Motivation, and I'm glad that you are giving me the opportunity to inspire and motivate you to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Have a good one.